Why is it that some people with average skills reach the top, while those with exceptional talent seem to crash and burn? You've probably felt this yourself. You look at people who seem more gifted and think, I can't compete with that. In the heart of a bustling city sat Grand Maison, a restaurant legendary for its French cuisine and brutal standards. The head chef, Chef Laurent, was famous for his obsession with perfection. One Monday morning, two new faces joined his line. First, there was Alex Chen, 25 years old, a culinary school honors graduate. He'd trained under icons, and his knife skills were surgical. He walked into that kitchen with an air of arrogance. This will be a walk in the park, he thought. Then there was David Martinez, 23 years old, never stepped foot in a culinary school. David had spent 3 years scrubbing pots in a tiny diner, teaching himself by watching YouTube tutorials. His borrowed coat was 2 sizes too big. From day one, the contrast was night and day. Alex showed up exactly on time, never early. He was talented, and he thought that was enough to coast. David? David was there 30 minutes early every morning, staying late to scrub corners most people ignored. At night, David would lie awake with his stomach in knots. Am I good enough? Maybe I don't belong here. But every morning, he showed up anyway. 6 weeks in, Chef Laurent dropped a bombshell. I'm opening a second restaurant, he announced, and I need a sous chef. 2 of you have my attention, Alex and David. For the next month, I will test you. Alex smirked. I have the credentials, the technique. David is a nice guy, but he's not a real chef. He even approached the chef. Is this trial really necessary? My resume speaks for itself. Laurent only replied, then the next month should be easy for you. The competition was brutal. When a junior cook broke down in tears during a rush, Alex just rolled his eyes. Amateurs, he hissed. David's skills were rougher, but he stepped in. Stay calm, he whispered. We'll fix this together. Then came the Saturday from hell. The main oven died. Disaster. Alex froze. This wasn't in the manual. But David stepped forward. Chef, I worked in a diner with broken gear for years. I can modify the menu to use the stovetop. For the next 3 hours, David was a machine. He burned his hands, sweat stung his eyes, but he didn't stop. He jumped between stations and kept the team's spirits alive. Alex did his assigned tasks and nothing else. Sunday morning, Laurent called them both in. On the counter sat 2 knives. One was a stunning $800 masterpiece. The other was an old $20 blade with a tape-wrapped handle. Alex, the chef said, holding the expensive knife, this is forged by a master. But do you know what happens if I never use it because I'm too proud to get it dirty? It becomes worthless. You are the $800 knife. Perfect technique, but you refuse to get your hands dirty. He picked up the cheap, worn knife. I've had this for 15 years. It's my favorite. Why? Because I can trust it. It shows up every day. David, you are the $20 knife. Rough, imperfect, but you showed up when the kitchen was in crisis. Talent is just your starting point. Attitude determines the finish line. In 30 years, I've seen hundreds of talented chefs. The rest? They coast on talent and quit the moment it gets hard. They never learn that attitude matters more than raw ability. That talk changed everything. Alex realized he'd been coasting. Monday morning, he arrived early and asked David, "How can I help?" David, meanwhile, finally let go of the imposter syndrome. His confidence grew into quiet assurance. The final test. Create an original dish. Alex made a technical masterpiece, but it felt cold. David made something simpler, a dish inspired by his mother's cooking. Chef Laurent tasted both. David, your dish has heart. It tells a story. The sous chef position, Laurent began, goes to David. David's eyes welled up. He thought back to the dish pit 3 years ago. Laurent put a hand on his shoulder. You earned this because of your consistent excellence and attitude. 6 months later, the new restaurant was a hit, led by David's humility. Alex stayed at the original Grand Mason, but he was a new man, a mentor who taught every new recruit that talent means nothing without character. Talent gets you in the door, but attitude keeps you in the room. You may not be the most talented person in the room, but you can be the most committed. And in the end, that beats talent every single time. How are you choosing attitude over talent this week?